guys, I hope you well and welcome to our live trading room event. We're going to take a look at the main cryptocurrencies. So this is the Bitcoin trading outlook with myself, Alejandro Zambrano. Let me just ensure that we are up and running, and then we're gonna go live with today's presentation. Good, guys. So I can actually see that we're live. We're live on Periscope and we're live on YouTube. What we're gonna do today is we're going to take a look at the main cryptocurrencies. We're gonna take a look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and as well, we can also take a look at Ripple, Dash, and any other coins that you would like me to take a look at and that I have in my system. Now, before we start, as always, I need to stress that trading financial markets is unfortunately very risky. Now, but we are going to conduct live technical analysis on this webinar, and I'm going to show you the levels which I think the market will respect, and we can potentially work with these levels, but it doesn't have to be that is the case. And we need to understand that this is just my view and not any buy or sell recommendations. Okay, let's begin. And let's just quickly begin, right? So we have a lot of action this week, as you know. Bitcoin Cash at one point was valued much higher than Ethereum. This is the list right now, with Bitcoin being on top, followed by Ethereum, followed by Bitcoin Cash, which is a derivative from Bitcoin. It's supposed to be the improved version. Launched I think in August this year, and this is the currency or the coin that saw massive gains, I think up to 300% at one point on Sunday. And then you have Ripple and Litecoin and Dash and Monero that are here in the very top. Now these coins, there's hundreds of them. These are the 100 that are actually on the actual well, they could on some exchanges be traded. These are the top 100, but there are probably another 200-300 around as well that never actually made it, or that are too low value right now to actually make it in the list. And the reason for that is that many of them are just actual derivatives from Bitcoin, which is the first coin introduced to the market. Now let's begin, and we're gonna begin with Bitcoin. So in Bitcoin here, we did show you this setup. This is the exact same setup we discussed a few days ago. I think it was on the 9th, which is Thursday last week. So on Thursday last week, I said the market is overbought at these highs, and I said that a break to this level here, which was 68.97, could take price down to the breakout level and prior support down at 61.97. And I said that from pretty much these levels here, starting at 62.72, traders are probably going to look to go long and for this to head up higher. So far, this has worked out fine, and I'm not going to make any major changes to the outlook. Rather, I'm going to stick with this view, and that above 5,370, this market is a bullish market. And if we go back down to the same levels, I do suspect the traders are going to look to turn bullish again and in essence support this level, and this could potentially head up. Now this is a quite neat setup because the risk here is about 14%, and if we go to the upside, we make about 20%. So it's a good little setup here, nice, almost 2 times the risk, which is really important, because you see every time you risk say $1, you want to make $1.5, if not $2 for that trade. So for now, I'm going to remain bullish above 53.70, which is this level down here. If the market decides to plummet down, then I do think it can go down to 6,000 again. But again, from 6,000, 6,268, I suspect the traders are going to rather look to go long and then push this to the upside. Now, anybody that has been trading for a while can also note something really interesting with this market. It has the characteristics of a so-called head and shoulders pattern. That is that we form a left shoulder, a head, and then potentially a right shoulder here. Now this could be what's happening right now, that we might just gonna go up and down and then up again. We're not necessarily gonna go all the way up, but if we just go up to 7,000, maybe 7,000, yeah, 7,000 I think, then that could be an indication really here that this could be a limitation to this. And if we break below this level here, that's when we would trigger this actual head and shoulders pattern. So a head and shoulders pattern, let's see if I can just load Paint of all things. I'm gonna load Paint. I think it's a good little program to just show you how it works. So the head and shoulders pattern looks like this: up, down, up, down, up. Now this is the left shoulder, this is the right, and this is the head. And what people do, they connect these two levels, which would be the neckline. And usually if we take out the neckline, the distance between the high and the neckline is gonna be the target, right? This is gonna be the target. So a break to the neckline here could cause some severe damage to the price of Bitcoin. And I would look for here, from that high to that low, the difference is 29%. And the same distance here, let me just do like this. The same distance here would, in essence, actually take price all the way down to about 3,126, which obviously would be some serious damage to the price of Bitcoin. At the same time, that probably is going to be welcomed by everybody that didn't buy at these levels a few months ago. So the level here, which is 5,370, is key for this market. I can't stress enough how important this level here is. So we could potentially have a head and shoulders, and this market could potentially be trading at 4,400 on a break to this level, and then potentially even lower. But for now, it's all good. The market is not as overbought as it was, pulled down to support. And again, I suspect that as long as this level holds, that this market could potentially head higher. Let's take a look now. This is the Bitcoin Cash, which was the big mover over the weekend. On Sunday, it just roared higher. If I show you the daily chart, on Friday, let me see here the exact date. So on Friday, November 10th, we're down here. This is November 10th, and from that November 10th level, the market spiked all the way up with about 329%. Now, the actual high depends on which exchange you're working with. This I just took from Bitfinex, which is a big player. They control about 15% of the market, and it makes sense to use their prices. And a massive move to the upside, and this could have been traded with classic technical analysis tools, like a simple break to the upside here would have suggested further move. In the short term here as well, you had this little move like this, where the market was being suppressed by this trend line, and then eventually down here had a break to the upside. Now going forward here, it's definitely a bullish trend, and as long as you trade let me see here, above this low here, which is 523, then this is going to be bullish. Now if you just look at this daily chart, it's hard to kind of pinpoint the level, so I'm going to use a 4-hour chart. So this is a 4-hour. In fact, I'm going to use the 1-hour to see even more details to what levels to work with. So this is the low here from Friday last week. I think that should be sufficient, and we could load a Fibonacci. So from the low all the way to the high. So because this is a logarithmic scale, by the way, you can see that this is massive correction, it declined far more than I should have done, but then at the same time it rallied like crazy as well. From the high to this low, the market was down with 64%. From here, it's down with 55%. Now, this is a tricky situation, and I think I will stick to a bullish view. So on a break to this high here, which is the 1563, so 1563 level, on a break to this level, then this could potentially trigger a bit of a resumption to the upside. Until that happens, I'm gonna be very open-minded here. I suspect this could be up, down, up, and then potentially down to 940, 850, and potentially even lower, guys. So this is not necessarily the best optimal entry right now, but it's a like, I don't know exactly where to go along here, but let's give this another day or two. For now, let's just watch this. The fact that it's limited by this downtrend, suggests to me that this could potentially continue to drift down lower. Now let's take a look at Ethereum. So this is Ethereum, and this is a daily chart. Now Ethereum has been trading sideways for quite some time, and it could be ready to deliver a nice little Christmas for some people that are long, that is, but it's not like Bitcoin. It's not that people are very excited and really want to buy this and go long like Bitcoin. Not at all. It's, in fact, it's a bit of a struggle. Something I noticed myself when doing the analysis here. But we are, this is a downtrend, and we are taking it out, and I think some traders are buying on the back of this. But I don't. While I'll use these trend lines, I don't actually trade on the back of them. So I'm gonna watch this high, which is 350. Take out 350, and the market could potentially take out this high here. Now take this high out, and you probably have an even stronger move to the upside. So keep an eye on 350. Traders are probably going long here on a break, and stop loss orders are gonna initially go down here about 293 or so. Now this is Ripple, and Ripple is very boring right now. It had like a massive move. I mean, you've seen it in the past, right here. It's trading sideways and then massive. The whole move here is massive. I mean, if you actually bought this in the beginning of the year, then you'd be up with 3,697%. Now here we go in and heading into a severe similar situation than what we've seen here, and you want to keep an eye on 2932. So 0.2932 with a break to the upside here, potentially leading to higher and higher prices. Here's Litecoin. Now Litecoin as well, amazing year for Litecoin, trading down here at 388, now at 60, and up with 1,468%. Now this is a bullish uptrend, and a break to 67 could potentially, as a minimum, I guess, take us up to this high, and then we'll see how much higher this wants to trade. I'm not sure how much higher it wants to trade, but take out this high and then we can head up higher. I think trader is going to work with stop loss orders down here. Let's take a look at Monero. So this is Monero dollar. Here is a nice healthy uptrend. I like this. Nice. You have some sort of pullback, so you can get involved. Trading at 8 or so in January. Now trading at 121. Here, it's a little bit too late, I suspect, to get involved. The market had, was limited by this little level here, and then took out this high here. So you see, take out one high like this one, targets the next high. That's why with some of the other coins we just looked, keep an eye on when we took out prior highs. So we took out the 104 level, And now the market is struggling with this level up here, which is 151. But I think it's bullish for now. I think if it goes down to the breakout level, and we were actually just trading here a few days ago, then the market could potentially head up higher. For now, as long as you trade below this low here, we're dealing with an uptrend. Now, potential targets beyond this level, we can use the pivot points. Actually, sometimes you can, not always. The reason for this is that this market had already moved too much. According to the pivot point indicator, we are way overbought already at these levels, and this is the monthly. So there's different ways of dealing with this. You can use Fibonacci expansions. Uh, Myself, I need to brush up on how that actually works. But Fibonacci expansions is, in essence, you take hold of a few points and use this to predict how much higher we can go. The alternative here is just to look at the range like this. Now you may wonder, why don't I know about Fibonacci expansions? Well, because I primarily trade currencies. That's what I've been doing since 2006. And currencies are more range bound, so they will usually travel from, very high levels to very low levels, but it's all within a span. Um, to give you an idea about this, which is very close to what I wanted to show you, then this is the Australian dollar versus the New Zealand dollar. So this is 1995 low, and this is the year 2000 high. This is 2005 low, and this is 2011 high. So this is a range bound market. If anything, it's not like Bitcoin. Why? Because this is one country versus another country. So you don't necessarily need Fibonacci expansions here when you always have highs and lows to work with. In the case of these coins, though, because these are uncharted levels, the market, we can use something like Fib expansions. Okay, let's see here if we can answer some of your questions. So if you are in the live trading room, you're most welcome just to write here. If you are on Periscope as well, then you're most welcome to write to me. And as well, if you're on Twitter, you're most welcome to reach out to me as well. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna load that Twitter or Periscope. So if you just give me a minute or two, then I'll have that up and running. Okay, I'm back. Don't forget as well to follow us on YouTube. It's very straightforward. When you click here, you'll have a little button down here, subscribe. You should be able to follow. You can also follow us on Periscope. And I'm gonna actually open up here and see if we have any questions. Okay, guys, so we don't really have any more viewers right now, so we're gonna wrap things up, or more questions, that's what I want to say. So we're gonna finish for now. Follow me here on Twitter or on YouTube or on Periscope for more outlooks like this. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. we should be hosting the Forex Market Outlook. If you want to have an idea what that's all about, you can find them here. You can also find them on YouTube. Um, if you are interested in financial markets, then don't forget to visit Trade Captain. On Trade Captain, we provide you guys with updates. As an idea, this morning we talked a bit about what happened with the pound following consumer price index, also German 7 index. Provide you special updates on what happened overnight, morning outlook. We cover central bank rate meetings. We cover political events, and also provide educational webinars. So we have an introduction to Bitcoin trading and blockchain, which is going to happen. See here on the 23rd of November. It's free to register and it's free to attend, so it doesn't cost anything, but you do need to sign up. So in 9 days, we'll spend about 45 minutes talking more about what blockchain actually is and how that actually helps to make Bitcoin. We're also going to talk a little bit more about all the individual coins, how they work, how they interact, how is to trade coins via a broker like Amana Capital. But the first half is mostly on blockchain, like how it's revolutionizing the market right now. And then we're going to talk about cryptocurrency trades of 2018. That's like more of a special in-depth outlook here on how to which are the big ideas for next year. Then we're going to host other webinars as well. If you happen to be next to us or near us, we do have Harmonics, so it's technical analysis strategy in Malaysia. This is going to be in English, this presentation. Then we have some other seminars in Beirut, Bahrain, and myself, I'm going to be in China in December. So if you are in Shenzhen, China, then feel free to come by the China Forex Expo 2017. I'll be there. And that's it. A bunch of other cool tools here as well. Guys, have a great day, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.